Hey, what's good, class? It's option 1. Back again with more Hawken tips. Anybody played this lately? I couldn't get enough of this game for a little while. I did play it, and I'm still touching it a lot. It's a really fun game, despite some glaring issues, but you heard all about that in my last video, so let's get down into it. Today is just the tips, 5 quick tips. I know that's so canned on YouTube, but 5 quick tips that are gonna help your gameplay, that have nothing to do with skill, things that I found that I think will help you guys enjoy this game a little bit better. So let's get into it as quickly as possible. First of all, one of the biggest things that I found almost immediately helps is turning off cockpit lag. As you can see here, I tooled around in the option menu and I found this setting, cockpit lag. I don't understand what it's supposed to be. I have no idea what cockpit lag is supposed to mean, but as far as I can tell, this is actually motion blur. You turn that all the way down, and I found that immediately fixed a lot of the frame rate problems. The frame rate's still pretty low. It doesn't make the game great, but it definitely makes it feel a lot smoother. It doesn't feel as sluggish. So there's that. If you haven't noticed that in the option menu, and I keep running into people who haven't, check that out, turn that off as quickly as I can. Also, if you notice right underneath that, the second tip is, of course, you can change the position of your mini-map. I think the bottom left is a terrible place for the mini-map, and most games usually have it at the top left. You can put it wherever you want on whatever corner. As you can see here, I've moved mine to the top left. Take note, you have to switch whatever was in the top left to the bottom left at that point. So if you leave them both at the same top left, it won't move either of them. So move your minimap to the top left or top right, move what was ever there, the place where the minimap was, and you'll be good. Now, if you also look here, playing around with the options, you see that the controller settings are kind of weird. Why they didn't allow you to change your controller settings is beyond me, because there's so many people who play different ways. I know there are people who come from PS3 who play with fire on the left and right bumpers and not the triggers. If you look at the picture of the controller here, it shows that the primary fire is on left trigger and not right trigger, which doesn't make any sense. Those are what side the mech has the weapons on. A lot of people don't know this. In your PS4 accessibility items, as you can see, I'm going right here, you go up to your menu bar, settings, accessibility, you scroll down, you can find custom button assignments. Now these let you map any single button on the controller to any other button on the controller. This is universal, and this is one of the best features of PS4 that nobody knows about. This is really cool. So if you do, like my friends, you want to fire with the left and right bumpers, you can change that, and this works for any game. If you want to just swap the triggers, like you can see me do here, that also works great. But you can get crazy, and you can put your air burst on your left stick button. You can put your square and triangle weapons on your bumpers. You can do all kinds of things. And as you can see here, you can actually turn this on and off very quickly. If you go down and you pick add this to PS quick menu, you can turn this off on the fly. So if you want to mess around with things, go back to your basic settings in the middle of a game, you can at any point. Really convenient, really awesome. This will help you. Like I said, the best thing you can do is just swap your triggers, but if you want to get crazy, come up with your own control schemes, feel free to do that. The next thing is you can change the color of your HUD as well as your crosshair. Here you can see me, I'm messing around. There's lots of different colors. I like purple because purple's awesome. And you can mess around with this, make it look like anything you want. You can also toggle this to color your crosshair. All these you can buy with in-game currency, so even if you don't want to spend actual money, you can change this. As well as you can also change your crosshairs. A lot of people did not know this as well. There are lots of different crosshairs. Unfortunately, most of them are not very good, but you can find something that's better than the default crosshair, which is kind of awful in my opinion. I chose the circles. And then the last tip is make sure to buy your mechs upgrades. You have no idea how many times they get killed by people and they don't have their mechs upgrade. It shows you on your death screen. Here's how you go. You find your mech, you go down to upgrades, you look at the upgrades. As you can see, these are better. Some things on your mech won't even unlock until you've purchased this, believe this or don't, but this is definitely a must thing to do. As soon as you buy a new mech, make sure you buy the upgrades, or if you can't afford the upgrades, wait a match or two until you get coins and then buy those upgrades. This is very important. So there you go, guys. 5 quick tips, hopefully to help you enjoy this free-to-play game. I've played a few other free-to-play games since Hawken, and I tell you, this is still one of the best free-to-play games on PS4. Frame rate is a problem, yes. It's still an all-around fun game. If you guys haven't seen my last video, check that out. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you later. Thanks a lot.